Hi, welcome to the Now Seated podcast, the place where heartbreak feels good.
And the show where we talk about the stuff we're watching and whether you should be seated or not.
I'm Paige.
I'm Christian, and today we're talking about Evil Dead Burn.
Evil Dead is a very long-running franchise, right?
Since the
started
80s.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
It started with like Army of Darkness.
No, actually, that's the third one.
That's the third one?
That's the third one he made, yeah.
Ooh, I'm spreading rumors.
Yeah, you're spreading rumors. No, it started with Evil Dead, which I think I've heard is some kind of remake of a short film. I may not have this super correct, but apparently Evil Dead 2 is a remake off the first one that he did.
Right,
so
because he didn't like how it came, or he wanted to add more to it.
Right, essentially. So he went back and like redid his first movie and also called it a sequel, which I think is a really neat idea. As far as like a film.
Who cares about rules?
Yeah, who cares about rules?
And I feel like that's what Evil Dead is. Like, who cares about rules?
Right. It's more just a vibe overall. Army of Darkness was the third one, and it's more like
hokey.
It's way hokier. Yeah. It's way sillier. Just watched the other day here on TV. I didn't like it. But,
really?
I'm not a fan of it.
It's a classic.
It's all right.
The scene with the skeletons and they're fighting.
Yeah, it's all right. It's I get it if it's your vibe. It's just
not your vibe.
Yeah.
So do you like the direction that the modern Evil Dead movies have taken compared to like the old Evil Dead movies?
I will say yeah.
You prefer the modern ones?
Yeah. Some people don't. And I think
those are the people that probably grew up on the original.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like a Star Wars thing. Yeah. I didn't watch the old ones when they came out. I saw them later on for what they've done with the 2013 remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. I think it's super cool. I think with what they're doing. There's also the TV series, which I honestly haven't.
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
I haven't.
Which the people who like the original
seem to like that show a lot. So I'm down to give it a shot after this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's usually on Showtime. It's probably on Paramount Plus.
I'm not subscribing to another
service to watch it, but
so either we pirate it or nothing.
Yeah. Right.
I would like to introduce our co-host.
Our co-host is back. Here.
Anything you'd like to add? Okay.
Where's my food?
All right.
I think the Evil Dead that Fede Alvarez did in 2013 is really cool. Like rewatching it again, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize, but I think I rewatched it recently too, or maybe like I've watched the movie a few times now. I'm just like, oh yeah, I've watched this before, and it's actually like pretty good. I know some people have their qualms about it, and when it comes to these movies, I think we have to talk about them as kind of in that conversation of what are the expectations.
Right. It's a horror movie, a gore horror, sometimes hokey movie with, very loose rules. Yeah.
If you're expecting some kind of deep analysis of whatever trauma that they're kind of playing up in the movie, Evil Dead has that sobriety thing. This one, Evil Dead Burn, has a domestic violence, domestic abuse aspect to it.
What are the other ones?
Evil Dead Rise, more like just sisters having their on and offs.
It doesn't have that theme.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I know the Evil Dead movies. Watched them a long time ago when I was younger. I watched Army of Darkness.
Did you like it?
I know that one. I enjoyed it. I have not watched like
modern, the old ones or the modern
Evil Dead stuff. Whatever I do know of it, it's just like purely based off like whatever memory I have. I just remember them being very like practical, silly effect. That was like the whole thing I remember. And it's so ridiculous. But yeah, so for me coming into this movie, I feel like it was really heavy. Well, very heavy presence.
Yeah, I mean, all three of the new ones have been. I don't want to say super serious. That was the first of the remakes.
Okay, so I did watch that one.
Just the tone of all three of these new ones, I guess they've been less hokey and more just. It's tonally more serious than the original films.
Yeah.
The horror gore that's happening here is harsher, more visceral.
It almost was too serious. Like, oh my God. You have the horror, you have the demons, and then you have the background theme of
family abuse. Domestic abuse, domestic violence.
Traditional family values, which created like that environment.
Right. So quick synopsis. The movie starts off picking up where Evil Dead Rise starts off. Girl who gets possessed ends up finding her way out of the lake. Abusive husband, Will, he ends up seeing her on the road. He ends up getting into a car accident and he dies. But in that moment, he gets possessed. it's not super coincidental either. We later find out that this family that he belongs to, their grandfather has actually been researching Kandarian artifacts, and the demon is targeting him. They're looking for a specific item that their grandfather has researched on. They have a funeral. His wife attends the funeral reluctantly. We find out that she's been abused by him in various ways, verbally, physically, whatever the case is.
And it also seems like the family was also.
And the family was
part of
also right in on it.
They were
They enabled
enablers,
him.
yeah.
Will has a brother named Joseph who is not that way. He's actually quite the opposite, if not.
He's very
to-
coddled.
You know, she's reluctant to go. The wife, her name is Alice, but she goes anyways. She doesn't really want to see the family again, but she does. After the funeral, they end up going to the family's. It's a generational home that they have where she also had their wedding.
Which has very clearly been passed down to the son because they keep saying,
Let it go into disrepair,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever, to Joseph, the
we
brother.
gave you this, and you don't even take care of it.
You didn't even take care of it. So they end up there, and apparently Joseph is also a writer.
The book he's writing is inspired by his grandfather's research. The Evil Dead stuff.
And then
takes
the
over
Evil
from
Dead
there,
it takes over from there. That's really
like,
where the story starts. The
so-
possession happens really right after the funeral with the father
Yeah.
wanting to see his son's casket one more time. And in doing so, he discovers that his son's actually alive because he's knocking from within the coffin.
It's our first kill too.
And that's our first kill in the movie. The father becomes possessed. The family is also just really creepy and weird.
Yeah, they're just a very,
It's fucked up. Yeah, they're
very,
very fucked up.
very traditional values.
Right. Overall, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I thought it was a good movie, but it was also just very serious. Some of the sequences were very, very tense. This director and the actors were so good at building tension and sustaining that tension. The movie definitely spiked my cortisol. I was stressed. It almost was too stressful for me.
Especially with the way that the mother and the
Yeah.
father are.
Even like the beginning sequence introduced to the father by his image, domineering. I'm the man of the house. What I say goes. Like, I have a dog and my dog listens to me. Very much manosphere.
Credit to that actor.
He did a very good job portraying that just through his body, the way he was holding himself, his posturing.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to speak, and I see him and I'm like, oh, that guy gives me the creeps. Like,
Right.
I have alarms going off in my head when I see him. You can tell very much that there is like some kind of dynamic or history of maybe abuse in the house. The whole time, like, why did she go there? Like, why? Like, I understand it's her husband, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, she should have just stayed wherever she
yeah,
was.
she should have just stayed.
And honestly, that's kind of like the theme in all these Evil Dead movies. Is like someone is there that like, why did you come? Like in the first one and the first remake, it's like was it the girlfriend that just came along to watch the sister go through her withdrawal?
Yeah, the
like, why is
girlfriend of
she
the
there?
brother. Yeah, no, absolutely. Knowing that the director is French here, I think really informs the way you watch this movie.
It's a very French movie.
For me, it gives off a very European French aesthetic for a movie. The editing here and the is very dramatic.
I think that it's because the main character was French that gives you that bias.
I think the only reason the main character is French is because he's French. But I think you can tell in like the editing how frantic everything is. She goes to the funeral to when they go to the house and they're having dinner.
I would also say the different layers of all the stories too is very French. It's not only just an Evil Dead movie, but also like this guy's abusive and also the family's abusive and also
It's got all those layers. It's very
tense.
clear that it's conveying anxiety in the editing, especially that dinner scene when the possession fully starts to take over the father.
I guess this whole thing is spoilers.
Yeah, this whole thing. But we should also mention there's a trigger warning here that
this whole movie is a trigger warning. No, not just that.
The whole movie's
that.
gory, yeah.
This whole movie is a trigger warning.
I will say too, I do think it's interesting that the movie started. I know we get the funeral kill with obviously pretty vicious as far as a kill goes, but I think it's interesting that it starts off with the dog being harmed
in the
first,
house. Yeah,
in the house.
For the dinner scene, she's going to the basement to get the plates.
Oh yeah, and he's
she
like trying
finds
to
the
like
father. Oh, it's our secret. Like, I'll take care of you. It's okay.
Right.
And then she like puts a knife in her pocket or whatever.
Right.
So there's that tension that's already being built. And after that, you get the dinner scene where he's like looking at all the sharp items on the table, and you see her seeing him looking at all the sharp items on the table.
Yeah, but and again, it's the way they
it's
cut
panning.
back.
It's
Right.
like,
it cuts to her looking at him, and it
then
cuts to him
also
looking at the
family's
shark.
having like a tense discussion.
It makes it
so
really
much
frantic.
tension.
Yeah, and the
building so much
anxiety that's
tension.
there in that scene.
It's like
oh
something's
my
gonna
god,
happen. When is it gonna happen? And the whole
Dude,
time, it's like it's not gonna go there, and then it goes there.
because you
And
think he's gonna stab himself or
someone.
At the end of that scene, it's only after he stabs the dog when they pan out to see the whole table. The table's like this big, but the way they're cutting everything makes it seem. I thought the table was huge. That really impressed me. I was like, oh, okay, like that's really cool. The way he shoots the film is really creative. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff he does here that's really interesting. The bathroom sequence where
There are a bunch of great sequences.
Yeah,
the car scene
when they're driving the dad to the hospital after he stabs their dog. Really well done. I think he definitely has an appreciation for the material here.
Yeah.
It clearly shows as far as like the kills, the gore. It definitely has a very European taste to it. It's a very European
I keep
editing
thinking of
and,
that like one shot where it's like the aerial view of them fighting in the entrance of the house.
Yeah, the entry, yes.
Yeah, the entryway of the house. Like that was such a great
and it was like a one shot.
It was a one shot and you just see them moving. And I thought that was really cool. Starts outside, then it slowly trickles into the house, and then you work your way upstairs, and then you work your way into the bathroom, and you work your way into the attic. It was all very
segmented. The gore and the special effects here are also very excellent.
Gore was like
the gore was crazy, dude. The gore here is
again. It was like they're not gonna go there, and then oh man, they went there.
No,
and
it's
I was
brutal,
uncomfortable. Like it was
crazy because it goes from the stabbing of the dog in the eye to they're driving, and the next thing we see is fingers cut off from him slamming the door. And I was like, oh my god.
And then
and I can only imagine, I'm like, oh my,
and then
feeling
he
my
gets
fingers
the headrest and like shoves it through her face.
Shoved it through her face.
And
Like she really got it this movie, dude.
Yeah,
that other wife.
Father shoots himself, which is again like a scene that almost lasted too long.
But
he shoots himself 3 times.
Well, but remember, we don't see the third shot. It works the first time. The second time he shoots himself is uncomfortable. The third time you think, well, you can't possibly do it a third time. You're gonna make me really cringe here. Cut back to like the family looking at him. And I was like, okay, so they understand when enough is enough, which I also like about this movie. There's a sensibility here. It's not just vulgar for the sake of being vulgar. But I'm glad it's in the Evil Dead franchise.
Cool.
Like
Totally
it's another cool
but
entry. I've seen a lot of negative reaction to this, and I don't really understand why. It has to do with what we were talking about earlier, like, oh, but like how does this relate to the overall franchise and blah blah blah. And it's like, I think the overall franchise is also very loosey-goosey anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's always just come off as like whatever goes.
Yeah, it's whatever goes.
The only thing it needs to have is a creepy house.
Right.
That looks
or
like
a creepy
apart,
setting.
But somehow they're living in there and they choose to be in there even though it looks gross.
Right.
Pictures of loved ones. And happy times.
Yeah.
And I would say that's like your formula right there.
Yeah, and that's it. There's some Kandarian thing going on.
Sometimes there's like a
Book of the Dead
trauma happening, right? But
sometimes, not always, and that's
then there's
it.
the Book of the Dead.
And that's my thing. When I hear negative reaction to certain things or any kind of criticism, I have to look at it in the context of like, okay, but what are the expectations that I have of this movie? My expectations of this movie were met, and that is for Evil Dead Burn. It's a horror movie with possessed people who are doing some really fucked up shit and lots of gore. And that's what I got here, and I'm happy with what I got. Did the movie expand on the traumas of domestic violence?
If you want to, you can totally talk about that.
Yeah, if you want to, and I'm not saying it's not an important aspect of the movie.
But if you don't want to, then you don't got to.
Yeah, it's an interesting aspect of the movie. Yeah. The movie doesn't need to have to resolve that issue necessarily. Yeah. She gets her comeuppance as far as like she got to kill the whole family because they were all possessed.
And they're also all terrible people.
And they're all terrible people anyway, so you don't feel too bad about it either way. I think every movie needs to have a certain context in which you watch it in. If it's an Evil Dead movie, it's a horror movie with lots of gore. And if that's what you're into, you're gonna get that here. I don't go to watch Super Mario Galaxy for a fucking some kind of Oscar award winning deep narrative.
You know what happens? There's people that like go see these movies and they are like, I don't know, they want to be contrarians. Like, oh,
They want everything to be a cinematic universe, and it's like, how about we
Oh,
just get a cool
the other
movie,
one was
like-
better though. Give it a chance. Sit on it a little bit longer.
Yeah, sit on it,
You just
like,
watched it. Like,
you know,
maybe
and
by
it's-
tomorrow you might feel, oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah, and it's so dismissive.
I
I
don't
feel like
know.
that kind of criticism too is so dismissive because it's
Yeah.
like clearly the director here is doing really fantastic fucking work.
Yeah.
Visually, special effects wise, cinematography. Like this movie looks good, and it gives you all that impact. To be so dismissive in your criticism, to be like, well, but actually I hated it because it didn't
This
live up
wasn't
to
as
the
good as the other one.
and like the
Oh.
lore wasn't. It's just like it's such a fucking like 5-year-old take on this movie. You
Yeah.
know, I get it if you think, well, was the horror excessive?
They're not enough horror.
Was there not enough horror? Then I can appreciate your criticism. But if your criticism is just like, well, but in Evil Dead 1, he did this, and now they're. I don't really care. Like that's not an opinion I'm keen on listening to.
Yeah.
Some negatives on the movie, something that you
Well,
didn't like.
I know for you just didn't like the
Yeah.
fourth act. or
Yeah,
the final
for
act.
for me, I did find it's spoilers. Final act of the movie when you think she's done, kind
The
of a
final
common
boss comes out.
right, which is still it still keeps to that trope of like a final boss, which the last two have kept to as well, which is fine. I do like that aspect.
Started off with him.
We couldn't
not
finish without
finished
him.
Without him.
Yeah, I just think the way he comes back is a little silly. That really didn't work for me. And this one, it looks something like more out of like Constantine.
He's a burned man.
He's a burned man. I mean, it's so scary. He's so creepy.
I think that
you
the
know?
creepy part is like this figure that's been abusing her in life is now here to
Right.
abuse her in his death, threatening to bring her into the afterlife and to continue and to abuse her.
In
And,
the
like,
afterlife.
In the afterlife.
In hell. Can't live. You
Yeah.
can't either.
Can Alice catch a break? Like,
Right.
This is rough. Like I can't breathe anymore. This poor girl.
Yeah, that's really about it. It's more in the way they bring him back
Yeah.
and the way he looks that didn't really work for me. But I still think it makes a good final act. Does get her revenge or like her closure. And yeah,
I
like
would get my closure too if I killed
Yeah.
my family
so you know
that was complicit in my abuse.
took me a second to get used to the pacing. That's really the only
There was
issue.
also not a silent part of this film.
No, it's
like there
it's-
was heavy bass
yeah throughout the
throughout
whole
the
thing.
whole film. And
Admittedly, we did watch this in a Dolby Cinema, and it was a very good Dolby Cinema. I was very impressed with Dolby Cinema here. Like,
shout out to the Veterans
AMC
24.
Veterans 24 here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to that Dolby Cinema because I was very
Very
impressed with
good
it.
one.
Yeah, that's a very good theater. There really weren't too many quiet moments here.
Yeah, it
and-
really used like every sensory output that it could.
yeah, and again, like a lot of the shots are really inventive, really creative. Here, that's-
Visually very cold.
it's got a very gray under, but it
Yeah.
works for the movie.
Right, right.
It works. You know, it makes it creepier. Like,
Totally adds to it.
yeah, the
Oh my
grandma.
god, when the grandma rises with the sheet over her head.
Wild, dude. I was bugging.
You're-
We should also mention that whole scene too, because after that, the mother character is so easily like,
manipulated.
yeah,
And it's because she
Like-
values family.
she clearly understands that something's happening here, but she chooses to ignore it.
Also, an
says her
ingredient
name.
of Evil Dead movies is like, they keep making excuses for why this person's
So
acting this
acting.
way. When their eyes are a different color, they
Yeah,
just
right.
killed someone.
She just saw her
They're
husband shoot
literally
himself in the
speaking
face.
They're speaking in a demon voice.
Yeah, right.
But oh no, they're just,
No, we can
they're
save
just going
them,
through
like-
something right now. The tongue kissing scene with her husband.
Well, and that's all the same scene.
yeah.
Because then he comes by the window and then they're literally she's kissing her husband who has holes in his face, and it's a long sequence. Like they are kissing for a hot minute, tongue and everything,
And then it stops for a second.
and then it's and they
And then
keep going.
He
No,
texted me
Oh,
in
I
the middle of the movie. Why don't you kiss me like that? You had 3 bullet holes in your face.
Maybe
I would.
if I was possessed by a
Yeah,
wild ass
the bar's
demon,
on the ground.
the bar's on the ground.
You got to raise it.
Seated, not seated.
I'm seated, but I'm seated with trigger warnings. Like
Yeah, seated with trigger
I
warning to
wouldn't,
just
you
like
know, if-
extreme
if-
gore.
if
Like
you are triggered by trauma, abuse,
yeah.
family abuse, domestic abuse, like pretty heavy
Yeah.
topics on top of gore.
I don't want to spoil too many of like the gory parts of this movie as to like what they are. Really intense sequences of gore here, and I think it's a real treat to go see. Sometimes you have to go into a movie and watch it for just vibes. And the vibe here is it's an Evil Dead movie.
And it's intense.
And it's intense. That's what you need to know before going in. And if you like that kind of vibe, then this movie's for you. If you're going in thinking, oh, I needed to discuss the
intricacies of the Evil Dead lore.
Yeah,
and,
like,
you know,
this movie, then it's clearly not going to be for you, you know. For me, it's a very much now seated. I think it's also another great horror movie that we've gotten this year. I think it's another great one to add to your list. I think it's another great addition to the Evil Dead franchise. I'm totally seated for this.
Yeah.
I actually kind of wanted to maybe watch it again.
I don't.
You wouldn't want to watch it again.
Go by yourself with that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll go watch Obsession or something.
You're right. That's a review. Go watch it. It's a very fun time, very fun, gory time.
And let's chat about it if you do think that there's deeper meanings to the movie other than gore.
Does it live up to your expectations of Evil Dead? Let us know what your thoughts are.
Tell us, because, I didn't grow up with this. So.
Yeah, right. So leave your thoughts down below in the comments.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, anything else you want to add?
Don't abuse people.
Don't be abusive. Yeah. It's really that
and
easy.
if someone looks dead and possessed, take it for what it is. Take
it for what it is.
They're dead and possessed.
Set them on fire.
They're most likely dead and possessed.
Right.
So